With that, Jim Moore has been with us this afternoon and listened to all the speakers, and we want to get his take on a kind of a brief summary of the day's activities. So thank you, Dr. Moore.
Thanks, Mike. This is how you become really unpopular. And so I will not take the allotted 10 minutes. I'll take about 3. I think the message we're hearing is quite clear. We've got an enormous, incredible location here, incredible opportunities, wonderful just set of circumstances to work with, but we've also had some warning, some lessons or some facts have been pointed out. Pinellas County is built out. If we do nothing, the economy is going to go into slow decline. None of us really want that as an option. We have a plan, Pinellas by Design, that was started 10 or 11 years ago, which is a really good framework, but the challenge really going forward is to figure out how to implement a county-wide redevelopment strategy. Okay? We had the example from Orlando, and I made a note there. In Orlando, ultimately, that redevelopment strategy was depended on the approval of one person, and that was Mayor Dyer. And we've all met Mayor Dyer. He's a very visionary person, very ambitious. Make it happen. That's not the same as what we have here. So the challenge here, I think the vision has even been created. We have a framework. You've seen some of the incredible tools, and I am not a data geek, but I think GIS is a phenomenal tool, and there are cities around the world that are using it, and the fact that you've got this set up here and that you're already one of Esri's, what's the term, power users or whatever you are, is phenomenal. I think ultimately the challenge is how are we all going to get together and over the next 10 years achieve that vision that's been set out. I mean, Bill has given us the downside, what will happen if we don't. There's some nice imagery of the upside. The challenge is how do we get from A to B? And I thought the developer from Orlando made a very, very pertinent point. It's not just A and B, it's all the stuff in the middle as well. You know, part of the journey is the journey, and in order to get people to come on board, you have to make that something they want to participate in. So the weather, as far as I can tell out there, is beautiful. We've still got a little bit of the day left. There is some yellow sheets at your tables. I've been asked by the organizers to ask you to please fill those out and leave them here. Some of you may not come back tomorrow, but we are interested in hearing what everyone has to say. The other thing that I encourage you is to go to the website, because I thought these presentations we heard today were fascinating. There's notes I've made. I'd love to go back and check things out. The fact that they will all be available makes them a huge resource. But please, in the next 12 hours or so, think about how are we going to achieve this vision? How are we going to implement the vision we set out in front of us and make it all come together? And if we can do that, there's a case study for a lot of other places in the country that they'll come here and say, tell us how to make it happen. So with that, thanks very much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see many of you back here tomorrow morning. Thank you.